WrestleBash 7 is drawing closer and closer, yet I still find myself with no clear road to WrestleBash 7. The Messiah of the Yard, the founder of FBW, being kept off of WrestleBash 7, the biggest show in FBW history. But fear not, the Messiah still has hope and motivation to get onto WrestleBash 7. I am not giving up, and trust me, I have a long list of sinners that I want to call out for a possible match at WrestleBash 7, which so far no sinner has stepped up bravely to challenge me. Instead, most of them have sat there and bitched and moaned because they are on my radar, because they didn't like that I called them a sinner and exposed them for what they really are. You see, sometimes the truth does hurt, but you can either bravely step up to get out of that or prove that you really are a sinner. And so far, most of them have sat there and bitched and are cowards. But like I said, I have a long list, and that leads me to today's callouts. A man who has to be sitting at home thinking how he is just a pathetic loser. My next call out is the Puerto Rican chief, Rick. Rick, you claim to be the most dominant force in backyard wrestling, the most dominant force in FBW, the Puerto Rican chief. But what happened, Rick, when you came to FBW? Sure, you have manhandled me like no man has ever manhandled me before. But what happened in our second match? Rick, I beat you so bad that you couldn't get up. I was the last man standing. Rick, you are 300 pounds. You are strong, the strongest ever, the most dominant ever. But why couldn't you get the job done here in FBW? Rick, you say you're the chief, but what are you the chief? What are you the chief of? Nothing. Because the chief couldn't become FBW champion. The chief couldn't keep Anthony Aries down. Rick, you are nothing. You are not a chief. You're the chief of Puerto Rico. No. The Puerto Ricans should be disgraced that you called yourself the chief of them. They should be embarrassed. You are the chief of wasted potential. You are the chief of disappointment. You're the chief of trash. Rick, I know you're sitting at home and you probably can't live with the fact that you couldn't be the chief and the most dominant force of FBW like you said you were going to be. So Rick, fear not, I am the Messiah and I am giving. So I am giving you one last chance. WrestleBash 7, the biggest stage in FBW, to prove that you are the Puerto Rican chief, that you are not a disappointment. So, Rick, do you want to be remembered as the biggest flop in FBW, or do you want to be remembered as the chief of FBW?